Hello there and welcome to our Disney Kind of Life. Today we're at beautiful Magic Kingdom on this glorious day to say goodbye to two old friends, Tom Sawyer Island and the Riverboat, Liberty Riverboat more specifically. We're going to go on both attractions and kind of take a little trip around the rivers of America before they close it down to create Piston Peak National Park, which of course exists in the Cars universe. That is going to be right here where I'm standing. It's going to be exciting. No time frame on when that opens, but closing wise, you have until July 6th to get on Rivers of America before it becomes Piston Peak National Park. So come along with us as we explore the Rivers of America one last time. Let's go. The often familiar side of the Liberty Belle while it's docked. Guests are getting loaded onto it along with Rivers of America and of course Tom Sawyer Island in the background. It's always a serene spot here at Magic Kingdom and the serenity of it will be missed, but I know a lot of people are looking forward to Piston Peak being built. Definitely a hot topic to debate about amongst theme park enthusiasts, but you know, we just wanted to kind of give you one last look at the serenity of here. It's always fun to look at from multiple angles. The scenery is definitely going to change when they build Piston Peak. Sightlines will be altered, but from all the artist renditionings that we've seen, it does look pretty cool. So I think they're going to blend it in nicely. Even the waterfront here and the boardwalk seems to have made it in the artist renderings of the project. So at least we're still going to have a water presence here. It's going to be a little more movement in the water though. It's not going to be still. It looks like whitewater rapids. If you did want to see Tom Sawyer Island, it does close at 6 traditionally on Magic Kingdom days, so you do have to plan for that. As you approach the loading zone for Tom Sawyer Island, here's a little explorer's map of the things to come. I'll leave it here for y'all to read. A little history on Mark Twain and what you expect to find over on the island. And here we go. We're going to descend into the line for the Tom Sawyer Island rafts so we can head over to the island one last time. What trip over to Tom Sawyer Island wouldn't be complete with the proper explorer hat? I picked this up from Lester's Possum Park when I was on a road trip recently, so this is the best explorer hat I think I could find. Now we're ready to explore Tom Sawyer Island. Let's go. And we're taking a short journey over to Tom Sawyer Island. Wave to all the pretty people. Getting close to docking. You can see some of the refurbishment going on in Big Thunder Mountain in the background, slated to open in 2026. I think they just recently replaced all the track and got the last piece of track on there, and they saw a mine car being loaded onto the track the other day. Little peek of Frontierland off in the distance from Tom Sawyer Island. Of course, there are a lot of activities to do here on Tom Sawyer Island. There's a welcome sign for us. Let's go see what we can get into. I'm not sure if I'll get into any of the caves today, but we'll see. One of the many paths here in Tom Sawyer Island, near the front. Really is just a cool place just to kind of come and get lost and get out of the chaos of the Magic Kingdom. I know it's a quiet spot for a lot of people that they're going to miss. I can tell you, obviously, we don't come out here too often. We're more of a thrill seekers, but it is nice to have little spots like this in Magic Kingdom that are kind of hidden away, as they say, in just, you know, beautiful, lush landscapes. Shade. There's a lot of shade over here. I hope Piston Peak has shade. We are looking forward to Piston Peak, but I do hope they do keep a little bit of some of the quiet spaces maybe in Piston Peak. That would be kind of cool if they could find a way to do that. I know it's a thrill ride that they're building, so might be a little tough to do it, but the area is big, so I don't know how big the attraction is going to be, of course. So, but we'll see what they do. We're looking forward to it. Got the little windmill back there with me. Let's head over to the little crooked bridge, although it is closed, it looks like, so we won't be doing that. Just kidding. Tease. Kind of wander up these stairs here and see what we can find. It really is all about getting lost here on Tom Sawyer Island. Even the one in Disneyland, it's a little smaller than this one, especially after the Galaxy's Edge refurbishment. But little known fact about the one in Disneyland, Walt Disney himself actually worked on that attraction. It's one of the only ones he actually designed. Not saying he didn't have input on other attractions, but he designed the whole thing over there at Disneyland. Of course, Magic Kingdom is just a little bit of a bigger version of it. The windmill's closed. Here we are at Old Scratch's Mystery Mine. I've explored many old mines, but this is my best ever. Strange things happen in here. So keep a sharp eye out and don't stop for nothing, Tom. Well, let's go in. Remember to watch your head in here because it is dark. You probably can't see anything in here because I can't see anything in here, but I promise you I'm making my way through. This is what's cool about here is it's just like a big exploration cave. Where are we going to end up? Nobody knows. Got a little bit of an incline, a little bit of crooked room in here. Take a look at all the gems in the middle of the island here. How long is the cave? Some of you watching this have probably never been through this cave, I bet you. This is our first time through this cave here at Magic Kingdom. Been on the Disneyland one multiple times, although it's not as long as this that I remember. Kind of feel like I'm waiting in Hagrid's line also at Islands of Adventure. I think we're nearing the end. I see daylight. We made it. And we didn't stop for nothing, per Tom Sawyer's advice. Walking towards Harper's Mill over here. Leave it there for a second. You can read. Of course, you got Frontierland over there. Let's go in. Let's see, we got steps here. Watch your steps. The inner workings of the mill. And boom, we are out. And the boat just made its loop across the way to Liberty Belle. It takes 17 minutes to go around. We got some graffiti here from the Hooligans Huck and Tom Hart's Becky. I'm standing in front of the only refreshment stand on the island, which hasn't unfortunately opened since 2020 pandemic. It's Aunt Polly's, and it was only open during like the peak season, so summertime pretty much Memorial Day to Labor Day, and they just had little snacks, hot dogs, chips and such and soda, but it was nice to have a place to get something to drink because it's hot today and there's nowhere to get a drink here today as we say goodbye. But they did leave the tables and such out, which was nice as you could get waterside viewing, or waterside table I should say, away from the crowds over here on Tom Sawyer Island, and you could just watch the Liberty Belle go, or you could watch people stand in line for the Haunted Mansion and everything else going on in Frontierland. It was a really cool reprieve from the heat and the crowds. Well, not really the heat except for the shade, but the crowds. Let's see what's down here. Like I said, you can definitely get lost around Tom Sawyer Island, but in a good way. All roads lead back to the raft, so you can't wander too far off of it. Sometimes it's hard to believe you're actually still in the Magic Kingdom when you see parts like this. And then if you look over there, there's the Haunted Mansion peeking at us. Alright, I'm going to cross this bridge and I'm going to come back.
Let's get the bridge in.
It's always fun going over these rickety old bridges. Crossing the suspension bridge over to the fort. Thunder Mountain off to the left. Got a pretty cool shirt walking by us. Now I'm heading back across the suspension bridge. I'm going to wave off to Thunder Mountain over there being refurbished. And the Haunted Mansion is on my left. That'll make it a little more exciting than it needs to be. Always fun. As said, you can spend a significant amount of time being lost in Tom Sawyer Island if you really want to be. It's definitely a cool escape during certain times of the year when it's hot. Just hope it doesn't rain and lightning comes around because you will get stuck here until that's over. We're coming upon the fort. Let's go check it out. Fort Langhorne. We are going in. Of course, the one at Disneyland closed several years ago. This one still open to this day. Of course, it will be closing when the rest of the island closes. But this is in the back. Got a restroom back here too. So the restroom in the front and the back. I'll give you a bit of a 360 tour of the fort. Got a flagpole in here. America. And here's a little 360 of the fort. Really cool. Got some of the livestock in here. Camilla's relatives have taken residence here. They're gonna have to move just like the Muppets. And we got our horses behind there, you know, a little shy today. We're gonna head up Rifles Roost. Let's go. Watch your steps. Very dark in here.
But Dad, we just started exploring.
Go to the other side. I think keep going this way. You can get to the other side now.
And of course, you have the little guard tower. Here, I'm gonna go peek. Definitely gotta watch your head and your steps in here, especially when you're recording. Don't try this at home. Let's see what we can see. And we peek out there. You can see Thunder Mountain. If any bandits are coming, you're gonna get them. And what would Rifles Roost be without a rifle? Got some cannons to help keep some pirates out or whatever. Couple more lookouts here.
Because
There's Emma down there. Don't tell her I recorded her. The camp and the fort are so much fun. Really hoping when they do Piston Peak they find a way to kind of preserve this kind of activity in this area of the park. Obviously it won't exactly look like this, but you know, Piston Peak National Park can be big enough to have a playground and a little area for families to enjoy. Doesn't have to be fully attraction centric. All right, we are continuing our trek around the top of the fort. You just get lost in here. Even the elder child that I am loves coming here and just exploring. You can't even tell me I'm at Magic Kingdom. I'm in Fort Langhorne currently. Langhorne, I believe. I'm gonna have to get down though somehow, and I'm gonna have to go out the escape tunnel to get out of here. Let's go find the escape tunnel. I was gonna show you guys the guardhouse, but he's asleep. He's not a very good guard. I don't want to wake him up. There he is. Shh. We are gonna escape through the escape tunnel. I found it. Let's go. Always gotta watch your steps in here. You should never film when you're on the steps. Public safety announcement from me to you. Let me do it. I won't say let the professionals do it. I'm far but professional, but I'm very careful. We are going into the escape tunnel. High shadow. Hope we find our way out of the escape tunnel. Very dark in here. I know this is very exciting TV you're watching right now as I'm crawling around a dark tunnel. I'll turn on my headlamp so you can see a little bit. Not much to see, but it's better than it being black. My headlamp came in very handy. The possum has light up eyes, I promise. Gonna have to squeeze through here. Good thing I lost some weight. And squeeze through there. I see daylight. We have come through the escape tunnel. Where are we? We are at the back of the island. We made it. Here we are. We're outside the fort. The guard didn't catch us. He's still sleeping. Hope you enjoyed the tour of the fort. We're going to make our way back to the front now and get on the rafts and call it good. So let's go. There's one more bridge to cross though. While the Liberty Belle is crossing past this, I do want to mention that there used to be other attractions on the rivers of America. The Mike Fink keel boats, which last were seen in 2001 here at Magic Kingdom. And just like Disneyland, if you've been there, they had the keel boats there too, but Disneyland still has the Davy Crockett Explorer canoes. Those used to be here as well on the rivers, but those closed in 1994. So, you know, the river was a lot more lively back then. All right, we're going over Barrow Bridge. I'm going to try to look back at the camera from time to time. Do not try that at home because this bridge is dangerous. I will do my best not to fall. Wish me luck. Oh yeah, definitely want to go slow here, slow your roll as you go over each barrel and you come back down on the barrel. It's definitely not very stable. They don't call it barrel bridge for nothing. You can actually feel the barrels roll when you walk on them. Like I said, kids, always face forward. I didn't almost lose it. Nope, I didn't fall. Not even close. The barrels are definitely slippery or rolly, or I don't know what you want to call it, but they're something. Got a little bit of water splash there. Don't know if it came out on camera. We've made it. I'll just kind of take it all in before I do the second half of the bridge. I don't think they're going to put something like this in Piston Peak, but it would be fun. You know, it's always fun to watch people cross this bridge, especially from the Haunted Mansion line over there where everybody is. Let's see, I got anybody waving back at me? I got one over there. We got some people waving. Got some people in the spirit. All right, here we go. We're going over some more barrels. Woohoo! This is probably the most fun thing at Magic Kingdom. You know why? Because it's actually dangerous. There's not a lot of dangerous stuff at the Magic Kingdom. I'm going to go ahead and put this into the dangerous category. You can actually hurt yourself on this bridge. And it is fun. I'm actually having a better time watching Emma try to cross this while she films me. I should have filmed that. There's a little outtake. We made it. We got through the barrel bridge. All right, that does it for Tom Sawyer Island. We are heading back to the rafts to head back to Magic Kingdom. Couple little facts about Tom Sawyer Island. It was not an opening day attraction. It opened in 1973, 2 years after the official opening of the park. So it's not an opening day attraction. You know, they built it and worked on it after opening. So that's cool. And of course, it's going to turn into Piston Peak National Park with a to be determined date of opening. Our prediction, you heard it here first, just a prediction, just off of us guessing, probably 2029. We'll see if that holds true. 2030 at the latest would be my guess. One last trip back to Frontierland dock from Tom Sawyer Island. Last time ever, at least for us. So long, Tom Sawyer Island. Let's get on the riverboat for the last time for us. Let's get on it one last time. Riverboat, the Liberty Belle in all of its glory. And we'll take a spin around the rivers of America. All right, we're aboard the Liberty Belle for the last time, and I'm going to give you some statistics, or I guess some facts, not some statistics about the boat. This is actually not the original boat that opened. The original boat was actually called the Admiral Joe Fowler, and it was not an opening day attraction. Technically, it opened the second day of operation, October 2nd, 1971, and ironically, it got dry docked and had an accident, so they had to retire that boat. But at that time, there were two riverboats running, and the second boat that was running at that time was called the Richard F Irvine. So you had the Joe Fowler, which was named after the construction manager for both Disneyland and Disney World, and you also had the Richard F Irvine, which was one of the Disney execs. Went through a lengthy refurbishment again in 1996 and became the Liberty Belle. They figured that name was probably a little easier for people to remember than the Richard F Irvine. I agree. So we're taking a spin around rivers of America one last time. You can hear the riverboat going off in the background. It looks like we got some country bears dancing behind me. Let's take a look at those real quick. I don't know if you can see the bears doing a little sidestep, but this is also a good view of the river from the riverboat of Frontierland. You can see Chip and Dale and some of the country bears doing some line dancing in Frontierland. I should say that we're on the second floor of the riverboat as we take this about 17 to 20 minute journey around rivers of America. So yeah, unlike Disneyland, Magic Kingdom had two riverboats running. Disneyland has the Columbia and the Mark Twain, of course. Here we had the Joe Fowler and the Richard Irvine were running together until the dry dock incident in 1980. Then it just became the Richard Irvine solo until it was refurbished in 1996, and then became the Liberty Belle. It also went through an extensive refurbishment in 2005 to 2006 and became the Liberty Belle that you know today. While we are sad to see the aesthetics of the Riverboat leave, like I mentioned on Tom Sawyer Island, we are looking forward to Piston Peak coming in. We got some people waving at us here. Hey! Maybe they'll see themselves on our channel, you never know. At this time, Tom Sawyer Island is closed, so that's why we went on it first. It closes at 6. Although this is not a tips and tricks video, because by the time you see this, Tom Sawyer Island will probably be very close to closing. But if you happen to squeeze in that last day, get there before 6, because that's when it closes. We get a little sneak peek of the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad refurbishment going on. As I mentioned earlier, they did a full track replacement. The track is done, I believe, at this point, and we have, I think we saw one car on the track earlier this week. Just the steam engine, or the engine, the front. Not slated to open until 2026. Should also mention that the Disney World Railroad, Magic Kingdom Railroad, will be closed, sort of, during a lengthy amount of time while they work on the Piston Peak area. But you can ride the railroad in what they're calling a shuttle mode from Main Street Station to Storybook Circus. Right here, I'll let you see some of the scenery from the Liberty Belle. Some totems back here.
It's called Tom Sawyer's Island, and it's named for a friend from my boyhood. Even today, the only way you can get there is by raft. Old man Harper's grain mill is there, back in the woods just off Tom's Landing. And that's Mud Potter's Pond and his windmill. We almost hanged once. And there's Huck's Landing. Huck always did like Huck. He could swear just wonderful. He and Tom and I spent most of our wild and reckless youth exploring this place. Lots of caves, lots of adventure, if you know where to look. And we all knew where to look. That's Superstition Bridge. It connects the Big Island and the Little. And if you follow the Wilderness Trail there, it'll lead you right up to the gates of Fort Lang. It's the last trading outpost before we head into the Indian country. Well, I'll be. Look who's drifted out of the bayou. Off the port, Captain. It's Beacon Joe.
Beacon's been marking this river for longer than I can remember. Every time the river cuts a new channel, Beacon puts out a mark to let us know whether it's safe to travel or not. However, Sam here has been bragging that which came to shove, he can navigate the Liberty Belle like a heavy dude. Isn't that so, Sam?
Well, I was born humble, Captain, but mostly it's worn off.
That other village off the port has been here a while. Most of the Indians along the river don't quite know what to make of our steamboat. They call it hello, which means fire. Because of the smoking sparks pouring out of the smokestack. And the first time we passed this way, they thought it was the return of one of their heavenly messengers. They said our riverboat was a comet of the sun.
You see that brick mansion back over yonder there in the wood? I've heard folks hereabouts say it's haunted. They say it was built on sacred Indian burial grounds, so now it's filled with spirits. And if you ask me, I'd say the ones telling those tales are the ones filled with spirits. You want proof? Just ask them. They got it. About 100 proof, I reckon. And whatever you do, don't strike any matches if they ain't breathing your direction. You won't just be seeing ghosts, you'll be joining. Thanks for flying the waterways with us. I hope I see you next time around the river bend.
Thanks, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for traveling the rivers of America with us today.
Engine room. Brooks levy at 1/4 steam. And the bow line. Pursuit, check freight and cargo. All hands prepare to dock. All passengers, stand by to go ashore.
And we're coming in to the end. Hope you enjoyed that trip around Rivers of America, our last time on the Liberty Belle. So the artist rendition of Piston Peak National Park actually shows that the water along here in the boardwalk, kind of around here, sorry, it's focusing on my finger, the left side of the water is still going to be intact. It's going to be kind of like a rushing river effect, which will help keep the aesthetics of this area looking really good. Obviously the Piston Peak National Park area, which will be to the right, over here is going to have like snowy peaks and stuff, so that aesthetic's going to definitely look different. But I do think they're going to intact like the feel of this area with the water. Just it's going to have mountains, and yeah, the sightlines will definitely be different, and we're looking forward to seeing how this all comes out. That does it for our coverage of the Rivers of America. Got the Liberty Belle in the background, Tom Sawyer Island in the background. I hope you enjoyed this historical journey, and it's our last trip around Rivers of America, last trip over to Tom Sawyer Island before it all closes down. July 7th is the first day it's closed. Last day to ride, July 6th. We are looking forward to Piston Peak National Park coming, aka Carsland. It's going to be exciting. Got some of the aesthetics staying in here with the artist rendition. We have like the river that's going to be here still. Can't wait for that. Unfortunately, it's probably about 4 years away, we're going to guess. We don't really know. There's no date officially. That's just a guess from us. But we just want to say goodbye to the rivers. Bye, Liberty Belle. It's been fun. A lot of nostalgia with these attractions. Luckily, you can still visit them at Disneyland. So it gives you a reason to go to Disneyland and check it all out and see the Mark Twain, the original Riverboat. So from Disney Kind of Life, I've been Kevin, and we will see you in the parks.